Today we bring to you one of the lost episodes. And when I say one of, I mean it. We lost another episode before, a movie that we only refer to now as That Australian Movie. I'm not going to tell you what it is because, well, hopefully one day we can get that one fixed up too. But today's movie, Lady Chatterley's Lover, with special guest Suzie, inspired an episode that I really was heartbroken to lose, while the Australian movie episode only inspired us to stop drinking while we were recording. I'll give you a warning that there's still a little audio hinkiness from maybe minutes hour and 10 to hour and 15 or so, but trust me, it's a lot better than it was, so just skip over that part if you need to. Prepare to be slightly offended and hopefully very entertained. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
I'd like to start this week's episode with a little bit more of a serious note, if I could. Disclaimer. This is more or less for people listening at home, specifically family members of mine, loved ones. I know my aunts and my mother listen to this. We are about to discuss 2022's Lady Chatterley's Lover. Quite possibly the horniest movie that's on this list.
Since Mandango.
During this episode, I would be remiss to not describe the multitude of sex scenes. So, you may hear me graphically discuss sexual intercourse, masturbation, mutual masturbation, fellatio, cunnilingus, heavy petting, and coal mining. Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody. I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ. Is that a baby pheasant in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, man.
And, yeah, welcome to You've Got Mails.
Yeah, we got a guest today,
We
too.
have a guest, unexpected surprise. This is based on a book. So we've brought in yet again our very own literary expert, Suzie. Welcome to the podcast, Suzie.
She read this one twice this week.
Ass and titties.
Goodness.
Oh. Now I have to put in
Hi,
all the
friends.
stuff from the beginning of this.
And I'm always excited to see you, but I'm very excited to have you on this one because hopefully you can give us some insight into the book, because I understand this was a pretty controversial book when it came out.
Everything D.H. Lawrence wrote was controversial.
I don't know.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know he
if
wrote
you
other
read
things.
it now, it's really boring.
Did he write anything else that I might have heard of?
Oh, yeah. Women in Love?
No.
No.
I feel like these are all
That was the big one.
these are all going to be movies on
Yeah.
our list at some point, right?
Has he written anything else that's been turned into a movie that you're aware of?
No, not off the top of my head, but I
Okay.
didn't do any
But
research.
this book came out 1928, if I'm not mistaken, if I did my research properly.
People were real pent up back then, apparently.
And he kind of self-published it. It only came out in Italy, and then France was banned in the UK and the United States.
Prudes.
And from what I understand, if I'm, and I could be wrong, and you might not know this, but maybe you do, it didn't really get an uncensored version released in the States until like the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way after he died.
Yeah. Like he
Oh.
died shortly after this book came out.
So what was the censored version? Guy loses penis in war, the end?
Did he lose his penis? We're going to talk about that, because
Yeah.
I think there's something to that. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves, though. Yeah, 2022's Lady Chatterley's Lover. It is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, but we should also warn, like right now, if there is anybody under 18 watching this, we did not tell you to watch this
and
movie.
it
Do not watch this movie.
It would have felt right at home on Cinemax at like 2 a.m. back in my formative
Yeah.
years. But this movie focuses on a woman named Connie who marries a fellow named Chatterley, and she becomes Lady Chatterley, and we learn about her lover, basically.
So
I have a hard time saying Chatterley. I need to really
Chatterley?
enunciate Chatterley. I keep
Call
saying
him Clifford.
Clifford. Yeah.
Clifford.
But the movie starts out with their wedding vows. At first, I thought it was like a monologue, like a voiceover, which we get a little bit of this in this movie, but it didn't bother me. And
No, it's like the
I'll tell
real
you why
deal.
when we get to those parts. It was actually worked pretty well for what they were trying to do. But it's her giving her vows, and they look like they're standing in front of this beautiful scenic.
Oh, it was well set up.
Yeah, and as they zoom out, it's like a backdrop and a very grimy, kind of like gray,
Well, I mean,
industrial.
it's World War I Britain, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't grimy. It was blown to fucking hell.
Yeah, but you already get I already got the sense when they showed these two together, Connie and Clifford, that like she may not have been totally into this marriage. Like
I thought she just based on looks alone, she could have done better.
Wow.
Well, he's a
Sorry.
landowner. He's like a baron or
that's what it-
something. Like he's
yeah.
got a title.
But
He's a-
she also married him and became a lady. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, money. I mean, money is part of looks.
and we
So-
find out like she comes from like a well-to-do family as well, and they're kind of looking out for business. You know, this guy's got money. It's kind of a power couple. I feel like.
And she's like a baroness or something.
well, her and her sister, her family was very cultured. Like they travel, like, and especially in the books they talk about it a lot. But they traveled, like they were in Dresden and Venice, and Clifford was like sort of a UK like
Yeah, she has more of like a bohemian
beans on toast dude.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a bohemian upbringing almost. But just this scene when they're zooming out, like she's smiling at first, and then as they zoom out more, and like you get to see they're not really in front of this nice backdrop, she kind of just gets this like blank stare for a moment, and like stares off into the distance.
We're
and then
sending them back to the front, though,
and then,
you know?
someone,
Like,
and then someone's like, "Mr. Lord and Lady Charlie," and she smiles again. But this is like the day of their wedding, and we cut to a scene of her and her sister Hilda, and Hilda is talking to her about why she got married. At one point, she's like, "You could have just had sex with him. Like, you didn't have to marry him."
Hilda reminds me of my sister.
And that's why the book got banned.
Yeah.
I liked Hilda. She's no nonsense, like no bullshit. Like she just says what's on her
Yeah,
mind.
she's
Like,
great.
she says what everybody else is thinking. And she kind of talks, like, it almost seems like this was one of those marriages where they met. They didn't, does it discuss in the book how long they were together before they got married? Because they don't really touch on it here.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Her father introduced her to the family like 6 days before this.
Is that correct?
No, that's just
That's how
what
it
shit happened
seems,
back
though,
then.
because it definitely, like, she's like, well, he was going off to war. And this was like a thing that happened back then. Like, you would meet
Yeah.
someone, go on a few dates, and then they were like, I'm about to go to war, like, marry me. And
I
you're
think
like,
that's what it was.
yeah, it didn't seem like they were together for very long.
Because
But
it's
also,
basically
I mean, in this whole movie, there's no character develop. Like, you don't know.
none
ever.
really. Well, they develop the groundskeeper somewhat. We see more and more of him as the movie goes on.
I know him better than I know you guys.
That's true.
Uh,
Let me say how awkward I was. Like, man, this is gonna be real awkward to sit down here with Jason and just talk about this movie. Let's bring in a third person.
Let Suzie in. But Hilda's also kind of talking to her about how she's worried she's going to get hurt because she says that, you know, she falls in love very easily. She's like a hopeless romantic. She gives her heart away too soon. At this point, Clifford walks in and is ready for the reception, and they kind of talk, are you ready? Let's meet the people together. And they go down the stairs, and the two dads are down there, and they give their little toasts. And both of their toasts are basically, have a baby. Let's have an heir.
As fast as possible.
Yeah, like we need an heir.
Like, guys, get started.
Yeah.
We need
right
an heir
now.
to the Chatterley
I wrote that is
family.
some heavy-handed foreshadowing right there.
Yeah.
That was not subtle.
So we get the reception, then we get the honeymoon night. They're getting ready for bed, and again, the subject of a child is brought up. Clifford asks her if she wants to have children. She says, "Yeah, maybe eventually, someday." And he says, "Yeah, me too, eventually." But neither one of them seem like real sold on the idea of kids at this point. They sleep together. This is like the only sex in the movie that is not graphic and is not shown to its full extent. And
Which that was wedding night sex.
that was wedding night sex.
Which I'm thinking back to my wedding. At the end of the night, we got home from basically 15 hours of events and like looked at each other. We're just like,
We got our whole lives ahead of us.
Like, yes. See you in the morning.
What's a long day?
That is a very fucking long day if
But-
you do a wedding right.
We also find out in this scene, because Clifford is kind of distant and not really into the proceedings, and he goes, "I'm just thinking about going back to war." He's getting ready, like he's getting shipped off the very next day.
I got about 4 million Germans to fuck up under the Kaiser out there.
Yeah. So the next day, it's her saying her goodbyes to Clifford, and we get like this really like ominous scene of him in a car, like driving away to wherever he's going, with just like in the reflection of the window, just these like war scenes of just bombs exploding and people getting shot down. And then we cut like 1.5 years later, and this is where I didn't mind the voiceovers, because everything is spelled out in letters to Hilda from Connie, and it kind of progresses the plot, gives you a little bit of exposition without having to sit through it, because this movie is over 2 hours long. So thankfully they don't show us the war scenes. They don't, they cut right
I would have taken that.
from point to point. But
like, I wanted to see this guy get blown to hell, not the groundskeeper get blown to hell.
but we find out that Clifford is now in a wheelchair. He's been paralyzed in the war. We don't know what happened exactly, but he's came out in the losing end of things. He's in a wheelchair now, and they're moving into his ancestral estate, Ragby, which is a big mansion. They pull up, and a few people meet him. They have a few people that actually work there, like servants. And he says, let's get as many workers as we can in here. We need to get this place back up to its former glory.
Yeah, money is no issue for these people.
No.
They don't even explain how they got it, where they got it. There's something to do with mines.
But I don't know that they work in the mines originally either, because that's like a plot point that comes along later. He decides to get into the mine business.
They're just hiring kind Irish folk left and right.
Yeah. But they go into the house, and they're showing her around a little bit, and they let him know that they're going to put him in this room on the downstairs for his bedroom. He vetoes that. Says, why not the library? Because he can't do stairs, obviously. And they got to put him on the ground floor.
She gets a whole half of a mansion to herself.
Which I mean, honestly, in her case is nice. Like, she can kind of just escape from him anytime she wants, and he can't follow her up the stairs.
Makes you think, like, look, I don't want my wife to be, like, paralyzed in any way, but it really is a good way to end an argument in that situation. You're just like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna go down these stairs.
It's a dick
and she does it multiple times.
Short little thing, but Walt and I have this thing called the vegetable clause.
What's this?
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
I mean, it's like 25 years old.
Tell us.
So when we met, I was a bike messenger and he worked in construction, both kind of dangerous. And if one of us became a vegetable, the other one was allowed to leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice to have that up front.
I don't know. It was real up front, too, like our third date. But I think...
just get this out of the way now.
I'm also accident prone, so, But, yeah, I don't know if we're married now, so I don't know if it's still...
You don't know if you're married?
No, I know we're married. I don't know if the vegetable clause is still.
Oh, because you're married.
Oh, that was a dating clause, so it may not have carried over into the.
It might not have carried
the
over.
nuptials. I understand.
See, we only have one preordained thing like that, and it's once we hit 80s, it's only threesomes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, like once we hit
I'm
that
gonna start
age.
smoking. So.
Oh, you made it at that point. Like, why not?
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay. So they convert the library into the master bedroom, and he says, what better way for like a writer where a better place for a writer to sleep? So we find out that Clifford's decided to get into writing. He's going to start writing novels.
You ain't getting into jogging.
Oh, Jesus. But so we cut to like a little bit later at night when she's helping him into his pajamas. She's basically taking care of him. They don't really have any help. Doesn't have a nursemaid, nothing. It's all on Connie.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
It is. Well, and that's, we'll find out that's part of the problem. And they try to have, well, she tries to like force his hand, we'll say. She grabs Clifford's hand and puts it between her legs, and he's a selfish asshole. He's like, oh, I can't do it. I don't think, like, your hands still fucking work.
Yeah.
Like, but his
I have a hand ache.
Yeah.
Why can't he get her off? Your hand's not broke.
But so like we find out from this scene that Clifford's junk doesn't work anymore for whatever reason, which
because it might be on the German soil.
That's what I think, because if you have like a spinal cord injury, in most cases you can still have sex.
Yeah. The nerves and the blood work still work. I looked this up as well.
Yeah.
I did one bit of research on this, and it was, if I break my spine, can I still have sex?
So it sounds like Clifford may have lost his entire penis in the war.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
I didn't look that up.
Well, I was curious, because I wasn't sure how that worked exactly.
See, if he's a vegetable, you can get the fuck out of there. But if he's a paraplegic, you better stay.
Oh, shit.
But
yeah.
He's basically like, oh, I can't do this. I'm sorry, I can't do it. So he's not only does he not have a penis, he's also a selfish lover. Like, he's not interested in her needs at all, which we find out pretty accurate all around from this guy. The next day, though, the Ragby Manor has a giant hiring event. There's literally like lines of people from the town there to like sign up to work there. He's decided they need to hire on, and he's interviewing all the men, and Connie's interviewing all the women. So she's interviewing, maids, I guess the servants, cooks, whatever. He's interviewing for gameskeeper, things of this nature.
Yeah.
This is where we first meet Mellors, the gameskeeper. He comes in and he tells Clifford that he's worked at the house before when he was younger. He's been in the military. All this shit fucking checks all the boxes for Clifford.
He was like an officer. Like, he had made it high up in the military.
Yeah, Clifford's a military man. It's his family home, so he's like hired. You can be the new gameskeeper. Which I don't really know what a gameskeeper does. I know he
keeps the fucking game.
He raises the baby pheasants.
This guy lays out the fucking game.
he does.
He has all the game. No, they're the people that like make sure that you know how like rich folk will go out on horses and shoot at foxes in cages and shit like that. He's the one to make sure there's foxes there.
Okay.
He makes sure all the animals are alive and doing well on the land.
Okay.
So that we can kill them.
I wrote that accent was splooshworthy.
Splooshworthy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even know he was the guy yet.
Oh, really?
I didn't know, because I didn't think he was that cute.
But the accent worked.
Also, he was born in 1990. So
did you think he got cuter as the movie went on?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. I did too. Because at first I was like, this guy's kind of just a boring, like kind of average looking dude. But then as the movie went on, he got the sex appeal.
He's like every dude at a gas station in Philly.
I'm not exactly sure what that means.
But you know what I mean?
He grew
but
up.
I kind of do,
like,
yeah.
You understand it in the abstract.
I'd like to see that guy climb a telephone pole.
We get another scene with a voiceover with a letter to her sister, and she talks about how Clifford has all of his guy friends over, whether it be like old friends from the neighborhood, basically where he's from there in that countryside, or he has a bunch of writers and critics over because he's becoming a writer and he's worked his way into this circle. And but she doesn't get any visitors. Like, her sister can't come visit. She doesn't really have any friends. So she's just basically walking around these parties talking to like a bunch of stuffy old white dudes all the time.
Who are all like eyeing her up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the Irish playwright was going to be the guy.
Yeah.
That was my...
Because he laid it right out there.
Yeah.
So in the book, she does have an affair with him, is what I understand, correct? Like, do you remember that? Yeah. So, but
lovers,
yeah,
plural.
Yeah. In the book, she has an affair before the lover comes into play, and it's with that guy.
Oh.
And they do kind of tease it a little bit, but he comes off as more like a skeezy scumbag than anything in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this was back in the 20s too. Your wife has an affair
Clifford
with an
said,
Irishman.
like, stay away from him too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You have an affair with an
he didn't
Irishman
get
back in the
invited
20s, they will burn you with a stick.
If you lived in England?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell?
If you lived outside of Ireland.
Oh, okay.
That was basically it.
So the next day, like after we get this exposition about how she's kind of lonely and wants to see her family or for friends and doesn't have anybody, she goes to Clifford and asks, she'd like to go to London for like a week or two and just to go see her family and her sister. And he objects to this. Like, he's like, I need you here. Like, you take care of me. Why would you want to leave this? Your sister can come here if she wants.
So you guys are in relationships.
Uh-huh.
Would you wipe their ass? I don't know if I could do it. Like, if I was in a skiing accident tomorrow and I broke both of my arms, I don't think I could even make my wife do that.
Yeah, I would.
Like, you got to hire somebody, right? You can't be the person in charge.
I mean, I'd wipe. I think I'd wipe. I think I'd help. I think I'd have to. Like,
yeah?
I think so.
Get a bidet.
There you go.
I'll run the bidet for you.
I don't know. It's
I think you need more. I don't think a bidet is like the one-stop shop that everyone thinks it is. You still got to do some other maintenance down there. The bidet doesn't do all the work.
Yeah, you got to run the water line. You got to make sure the heater's set up.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
But he also, like, she's like, well, then I just need to go take a walk. And he's really opposed to her taking a walk, too. Like, he's like, you should be here. You should just stay here in the house all the time. And
I did write, oh my God, she's a prisoner.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
it seems like. But she's like, no, I'm going for a fucking walk. So she takes a walk. She goes down by the stream, and we see kind of her first meeting with the groundskeeper, but not really. Like, she's down by a stream skipping stones, and a dog runs into the creek for a minute, and she follows the dog back up to the road, and the gameskeeper's down the way a little bit, and it's his dog, and they like a little hello, like wave or whatever, and that's it. And he moves on.
Such a good looking dog, no personality. This is the one character I wish they would have expounded on even more.
The dog?
Yeah.
Flossie.
Flossie.
Good old
What
Flossie.
a great name.
Yeah. We get a scene of her helping Clifford get a bath, and it's a real struggle. I mean, she is a small woman. Like, very small, petite, skinny, like, and she's trying to heave like a grown man who's dead from the waist down.
And that's got to be like, I haven't been in a bathtub in a long time. I'm more of a shower guy, but like, I remember you need your legs to keep you from sliding all the way into the bathtub and dying horribly. I just didn't feel this was safe at all. Like, I would not want the 100 and
he had his arms like up
girl
over the
trying to hold
side.
me in there.
I'm not a bath guy because I don't fit in bathtubs because I'm 6'6" and I can't. I'm actually mad about it most days. Like, there's some days I'd like to have a good soak. And if I get
your rubber ducky collection,
yeah, and if I get in the tub, like 3/4 of me is out of the water. But she gets him in the tub, and he has like a moment where he says to her, you must hate me for all this, just bad misfortune on your part. You married me, and then dick got blown off in the war. Can't use my legs, and here we are. You're bathing me. But she's like pretty cool about it. She's not. She's like, oh no, it's fine. I love you. The next day, he encourages her to go into town for the fair, which is like the May Day parade and festival.
Yeah. And there's a fucking attack union.
There is. Well, while she's in town, like, this woman comes up to her, like, really sweet lady, turns out to be the school teacher in town, introduces herself to her, and befriends her. And as they're talking, like, this horde of miners, like, comes marching through the streets, like, chanting. And then immediately, much like today, just get beaten down by the police.
Yeah.
Like they pass them, and then they keep walking and talking. In the background, there's just a cop, like, beating a man with a billy club while they're like, so what else is going on in town? But the teacher explains to her that this is, there's a mine in the town, and the miners are protesting poor work conditions, I assume. They don't really go into detail of what they're protesting, but she also says that they're probably from the town next door because they would be stupid to protest in their own town and lose their jobs. So
yeah, they have like a protest rideshare program. Like,
yeah, like, you come
weird.
protest my town, I'll protest your town. They can't fire any of us. Yeah,
the cops don't know me over there, so they feel better about beating me senseless during the May Day celebration.
And then in the book, there's tons of stuff about the strikes and the classes and the class war. Like, the whole book's about class war.
Yeah, I get that underlying current
weird
in the movie. Like, there definitely is like a class struggle sort of thing. It's just really just overshadowed by all the gratuitous sex.
They really
100% overshadowed.
They're like, we got to cut out one or two of these sex scenes for some of this this union bullshit.
But
they're like, no.
But then it feels super forced.
What's that?
Like the coal miner stuff just feels forced.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It does. So. Yeah. Next scene, she's taking Clifford for a walk. Like, he's making her push him through the mud, like outside through the trees and in the woods.
It's a little like there's multiple scenes like this where it's like, you guys don't. I mean, like, maybe not cement, but like at least some gravel to put down. Like, he is all terrain mudding in a wooden wheelchair,
and uphill. Like, she's pushing him uphill through the mud.
Doesn't even have oxygen like Hazel.
But she gets him stuck in the mud and like can't get him to move anymore. And Mellors, the gamekeeper, happens by with his dog, and he gives him a nice shove and gets him out of the mud and helps him out. And that's where she kind of actually meets him. Clifford introduces him by his name, and they get to meet. Mellors, like, the whole time during their first few interactions, is very disinterested. Like, just like,
he's living a hermit life.
Yeah, like, he's just milady, very polite, but doesn't say much, doesn't even really look in her direction, just kind of ignores her. So he walks away, and she keeps pushing him up this fucking hill. I don't know how far they went, but he takes her up to this like overlook.
This is where I wanted to see her just let him go at the top.
At some point, I thought it was going to happen.
Like a real wide shot of her getting up to the top, and they're just sitting there in the distance, and you just see her give one push and walk back down the other way.
Don't know where he went.
Yeah. Couldn't have got far. He was in a chair.
Clifford is looking over the scenery, this, like, all of his estate, and he's talking about his want for a child and for an heir. He's like, I always thought I would bring, if I had a son, I would bring him here, and I want this land for him, and I want to do right by this land and keep it beautiful, and yada, yada, yada. And basically suggests to her, like, like, if you were to get pregnant, not by me, people wouldn't know. Like, they don't know the extent of my injuries. They don't know my entire penis is laying on the ground in Berlin somewhere. Like, they don't know. And so he's basically put out there, and he's got his own like set rules. Like he's like, I don't want to know who it is. It should be someone of like a high class.
She's getting a hall pass,
a high standard, which is pretty progressive of Clifford, I thought, for the 20s.
Well, he just wants a kid. He's like, go out and get knocked up.
But he even said, and he's very clinical about it. He's like, I don't, it's just the mechanical act of sex. Like, I don't see why it should be any different than a trip to the dentist. And you just get this impression that he's just kind of like, he's lost pretty much any...
That even if he had a penis, they would have had sex like one time and had a child, and that would have been it.
Yeah, he just doesn't have like any kind of libido, or like his mind doesn't work in that way. And it may have before, like getting your dick blown off in the war. It probably has a mental effect on you. Like once it doesn't work ananymore, like
I've heard,
you may just lose all that and you don't care anymore.
Yeah, it had a real indecent proposal feel to it.
Yeah, and he says, like, he actually says to her, like, you'd be doing it for the people, like from the people of this land.
Oh, he really thinks that everybody like just holds them in the highest regards and loves them. And
well, you get the feeling too, because I mean, he does try to like help the area in a way. Like when he gets into the mines and everything, he's like finds out that the mines are shutting down, people are losing their jobs, and he's like trying to fix things, sort of. So, I mean, it does seem like he cares about the area they're in. It's like his family home. Like, he does seem to have a reverence for it and like a love for it, and cares about the people in a weird way. We have another writer party, and this is where the skeevy Irish playwright kind of flirts with her a little bit and touches her hand, and in the very next scene, he says, I don't think we'll be inviting him to the party anymore. So,
I told you, Irishman.
Yeah, and
absolutely not.
And this is right after he was like, just sleep with somebody and have a baby. I get the feeling that but he doesn't want to know who it is. So he saw this and he was like, no, like this guy's been to our parties. He's been to our house. I don't want that. That's weird for me. They're at breakfast and he gets a newspaper and he's reading a review for his book that he just published. And it is bad, like not a good book. And then he starts going off about like the nothingness of life. And he's getting real down and depressed. And she's like, it kind of sets her off and she goes upstairs to get away, but this is also like her...
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm going up these stairs.
This is also
this was weird.
Her cutting down the pictures?
What was she doing?
Well, because she had some kind of sickness. So the room she's staying in, he tells her...
sickness?
Huh?
What sickness did she have?
I don't know. They don't explain it, but she is ill. And then in the books, supposedly, like her sister takes her to a doctor. Were you not watching the same movie as me, CJ?
I'm making the same weird eye contact with Suzie right now. I don't remember anything about it being sick.
Well, I thought she was exhausted. I didn't know she was sick.
Well, it could be exhausted, but she's exhausted. She's going nutty or cuckoo. So she stays in this room. At the beginning, when Clifford moved them into the house, he was like, you can have the bedroom upstairs to yourself, too. Like, if you need like a space for yourself. It's one with all the portraits in it. And this room has just 50 portraits of like old family members hanging from strings from the wall. So when she kind of snaps at this point, she goes upstairs with a pair of scissors and she starts cutting them all down. Next scene, Hilda shows up to visit and she goes upstairs and Connie's in the bed surrounded by all these portraits and like doesn't look well. And Hilda's like, you're not okay. Like you look sickly and we need to get you a doctor. And she's like, what is up with all these portraits? She goes, well, they were all looking at me.
Oh, I think she means like you look mentally sickly.
Either way,
like not physically sick. Like she's just in such dire straits.
She does go down to Clifford and she's like, she can't keep taking care of you all the time. Like she's not well. She's ill. I need to get her a doctor. And Clifford's like, I'll get her a doctor. And she's like, no, like that's bullshit. I'll get her a doctor. Like I'll find someone to come see her. And from what I understand in the books, like they do, like she sees a doctor and there is maybe not like a sickness, but she is like, just exhaustion maybe or something.
Exhaustion.
Yeah. And
but
just
exhaustion then.
Yeah.
Like if I say I'm exhausted now, no one gives a shit. But back then it was like exhaustion. You need cocaine in the seaside.
Yeah. If the cocaine doesn't help, lobotomy.
Exactly. Yeah. Different illness.
But she also tells like Clifford, she can't keep taking care of you. This is obviously taking a toll on her. We're gonna hire someone.
I mean, she's getting jacked on the push him up a fucking hill exercise program. Quads for days.
And she says, we're going to find someone to take care of you too. And I'll take care of it. Like I'll hire. Like Hilda comes in and just fucking takes over shit.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. But they end up hiring a woman named Mrs. Bolton. She used to be, I guess, Clifford's nanny. Because Hilda
now
tells
she
him,
is again.
Yeah, Hilda tells him, she used to take care of you when you were a child. She knows the family. She's worked in the house before. She's going to take care of you now.
Was anyone super surprised that it was Julie Richardson?
Who is that?
She was the only person I recognized in the whole movie.
I didn't know who's...
I recognize the name.
She was in Nip Tuck.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's been in some other stuff, but I recognize the name when I was going through IMDb. It's the only name that I kind of was like, I might know who this is.
I wrote, surprise, Julie Richardson.
I do know, because I started looking into the guy that played Mellors, and he's been in a good bit of stuff. He was in the sequel to 300. That's the only thing I saw that I was like, oh,
301?
Yeah. I was like, I gotta know that movie. I don't think I ever saw it. Connie's going to go for another walk, and Clifford kind of seals his own fate here, and he tells her to stop by the gamekeeper's house and see about the pheasants, see when they're going to be ready. So she's taking a walk. She goes to the groundskeeper's or gamekeeper's little cottage, and he's just airing it out outside, getting a little shower.
Heck yeah.
How about that ass, though? You know, he's just butt naked.
Look at that fully functional penis.
Yeah, we saw the groundkeeper's
Presumably.
Willie.
Yeah.
But
groundskeeper's Willie. Oh,
I've been holding on to that one. But she goes to walk in, and she sees him outside. There's this bare ass back to her, and he doesn't see her, so she kind of stops and just peeks and spies on him for a little bit.
As you do.
As you do. Once he goes inside, she walks out and knocks on the door, and he lets her in. And there's just a lot of sexual tension and pheasant talk.
And why did she go through his stuff?
Because technically, I think that they
she owns him.
Yeah, like these people are basically indentured at this point.
That felt super weird to me that she walked in and
She
just
does.
started
Well,
going through his things.
Yeah, he opens the door, and she just stands there, and he's like, "Would you like to come inside?" And she's like, "I would." And then as soon as he opens the door, she bolts for his bookcase. She's going through all of his stuff.
Yeah.
She sees that he's a reader, which entices her, and he reads James Joyce, which is like her favorite author.
Oh yeah.
And
Suzie hates Irishmen too.
I hate James Joyce.
Oh.
But they talk a little bit. She gets the scoop on the pheasants. He lets her know, the hens are ready to lay eggs, and they'll be hatching soon, and soon there will be pheasants.
And then sooner after that, we'll kill them and eat them.
Yeah. She goes to leave, and she sees a bunch of wildflowers outside, and she says, "Oh, they're so beautiful." And he says, "Well, take some." And this, to Susie's point, she's like, "Oh no, I couldn't take them. They're I don't want to ruin your fucking what you got going on here at the cottage." And he's like, "It's your cottage. Like, they're your flowers. Like, you own them.
Yeah.
So take some flowers with you when you go, because they're yours." So she gathers up a bouquet, and she goes to visit the school teacher, gives her the flowers, and then she starts kind of prying around about Mellors, asking what the deal is with him. And the teacher tells him, all the older teachers at the school talk about him, like how bright he was and what a good student he was. Find out he was like a war hero. And she asks, well, why is he doing this now? Like living in solitude, he could be doing more than just being a gameskeeper. And the teacher lets him know that he was married, loved the woman to death, like treated her like gold. When he went away to war, she slept with a bunch of other guys in town. And now she's shacked up with some other guy. They're still married. She won't grant him a divorce.
Yeah, she wants his pension.
And half of his military pension. And he was just kind of heartbroken over this and lovelorn. And now he's just a hermit in a cottage.
That's the way to do it, though. I don't know. I don't think I'd make a good hermit, but sounds like it'd be a fun life.
This was at the point of the movie where I was ready for it to be over.
Yeah. You're just like, this old English
There hasn't even been any sex yet, Suzie. I'm getting to the best parts. Speaking of which, Connie goes home that night after seeing the groundskeeper's naked butt.
Ooh, I have something for this.
Okay.
All right. I want you guys to pick one of these 3 lines to describe this next scene. She's gripping it to the groundskeeper.
Okay.
She's horning out over the help. Or she's hammering one out to Hagrid.
Oh, 3.
I like Hagrid, yeah.
I figure this is going to make it a little easier to describe these scenes.
I just wrote, I'll tell you what I wrote in my notes. DJ Diddles, thinking about Mellors, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
But she's looking at herself in the mirror, naked, kind of like touching herself a little bit here and there, and then we get a little bit of a prolonged masturbation scene.
Prolonged is the word here. I'm like, all right, I got the point.
But this is kind of like, her sexual awakening, I feel like, in this movie. This is where all bets are off at this point. She goes for another walk. Where does she go? She finds the hut where Mellors is keeping the pheasants.
Heck yeah.
And he's there. He's doing a little woodworking, CJ.
Hell yeah, he was.
Like a handyman type work. He's working on the coops for the pheasants.
This is back when woodworking was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to make your own fucking tools, man.
But she shows up, and like this woman never wears a jacket on these walks, and she's so small. And he's like, goodness, you're freezing, you're shivering. Like, let me take you inside and we'll make you a fire. So he takes her into the hut, gets her a chair, makes her a fire.
I love this. Is so awkward. He pulls a chair up to the fire, like the little potbelly stove they have, just facing it about 4 feet away, stokes this bad boy, puts her in the chair, and just leaves.
Yeah, but
he's like, just stare at this for a while.
But this is kind of what I'm talking about with this guy. Like, he's very much like, this is going to sound awful, but none of this is his fault. Like, he's very much just like, I know my place. Like, this is like the lady of the house. Like, I'm not making any moves. I'm not putting out any vibes. I'm not flirting.
Yeah.
Like, she's my boss. Like, she
probably
comes
because he probably had to hire or hide the body of that Irish playwright.
Yeah.
Like after he hit on her.
But he sets her up with a fire, and he's like, you're cold. None of this is like flirtatious. It's very clinical. He's like, you look cold. Come in here. Here's a chair. Sit down. Here's a fire. I'll be over here hammering out my coops, you know?
Mm.
And but when he goes out
there... Try
there...
not to hammer it out in my house.
Yeah, when he goes out there, she's kind of glancing back at him with like little sly looks, and then like she'll look away, and he looks back a few times at her.
She's on the make.
Is that what it's called? She's on the make. What year is it? She's on the make.
She's on the make.
But she says to him, like, she really likes the little hut, and she says, I'd like a key for the hut. Like, I think I'd like to come here sometimes and read. And he says, well, I don't have another key, but I'm sure there is one somewhere. Like, you own the fucking place. Like, talk to your husband. See if you can get a key to the house. She gets back, and Clifford's a bit miffed because she's late for tea. And she asks him about a key for the hut, and he says, oh, yeah, there's probably one. Like, why? And she's like, I want to read my book there once in a while. It's just a nice, you can't get there. Basically, like, it's a good place for me to go that your wheels won't reach.
Just go read it upstairs.
But at this point, we get another letter to Hilda where she's just talking about how it's been raining for days nonstop. And it's like this sad montage of her just at the window looking outside, because that's her only escape. Like, she really is trapped in this house with this guy who, like, won't leave her alone, and is kind of a bore, and expects her to wait in him hand and foot, even though he has a nurse at this point. And she just wants to get out and go for a walk, and she can't get out of the house. She has a little conversation with Clifford about how he wants to get, like, now that he's got a bad book review, he's like, yeah, I'm not writing anymore. It's time to get into the mine business. And he talks about inviting the guy over from the mines.
This guy's midlife crisis game is fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, he's really doing it. This guy is a Corvette away.
He wants...
It would have been great if every time she came into the house, he was like, I'm making models now. Like, just a new random midlife. I started a podcast.
Hey, I'm going to pro wrestling school.
That's true.
It's an inside joke. Anyway, he says he wants to, like, help the mines out because they're going out. They're having troubles, and he wants to help modernize them, essentially. And use his money to make the mines better and keep people employed and keep things working. So he wants to have a meeting with the mines people. She's not happy because basically you've heard all these horror stories about the mines. We saw the protesters at the May Day fair. Mrs. Bolton, who's the new caretaker, has told a story about how she lost her husband to the mines, and the mining company kind of screwed her out of any kind of money for it because they said he was a coward and he was running away and he should have just laid down and he'd still be alive. So they found like a loophole to not pay her any kind of,
Well, they gave her 300 pounds.
Yeah, but I guess
back then sounds like a lot of money.
I don't know what a pound was then, but it sounds like also she should have gotten more. Like she's, this whole story she's telling is like they screwed me over. So she's not happy. She's not happy, and she kind of storms off, goes back to the chick hut, and the chicks have hatched. The pheasant chicks have hatched. And she wants to, like, hold one. So he opens the cage for her. Again, he's very much just like,
Did anybody else write down this guy knows how to pick up chicks?
No.
No, I wrote the handoff reminded me of Ghost, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. Let's just start playing Unchained Melody in the background. But, she's, like, struggling to pick up these chicks. And he walks over behind her, and he, like Suzie, he walks up right behind her, puts his hand on her hand almost, and, like, guides her to pick up the chick, and then steps away again. Like, he's pretty respectful still. Like, this guy's not really doing anything to try to, like, hit on her. And she basically has, like, a fucking panic attack holding on to the chick. I'm not sure what happened here. She just starts crying.
I wrote, why is she crying? Yeah.
Yeah. So she starts crying holding this chick, and then Mellor's, like, even his face at this point is like, fuck. Like, what is this? Like,
Yeah, like
do I
this
do
is
anything?
way
Like, what do I
more-
do? So he goes over and
This is like when you're at the bar and you're talking to somebody and they start crying over something. You're like, dude, I just met you.
Yeah.
Like, why?
And I also cry over everything. So
Yeah.
if I'm asking why you're crying,
Yeah, you need to back up.
So I mean, granted, her life pretty much sucks right now. So I don't know, but I don't know why the chick set it off. But she's crying. He walks over to her and he kind of helps her put down the chick and like takes her hand and stands her up, and she just latches on him with this big hug. And he even at first then like arms at his side, like very awkward. Like I don't know if I should even touch this woman. Like I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
And finally he hugs her back and he leads her into the hut, and he sits her down and he's gonna like light her a fire, and then she goes like all in, like grabs his hand, like puts it up to her face, basically like sucking on fingers.
All right, I have 3 here.
Okay.
Is she A, riding the ranch hand? B, freaking the frontliner? Or C, I don't know how I feel about this one, but gooed up by the groundskeeper.
I'm gonna say gooed up by the groundskeeper.
All right.
I'll take one. I guess.
Is there gonna be one of these for every sex scene?
Yes, sir.
I love it. But
we just can't sit here as 3 grown-ass people talking about this, like, just nasty sex
So
scenes.
like, what?
well, this one wasn't that bad. This one was actually like, I said to myself watching this one, I was like, this is how British people in the 20s had sex.
They didn't kiss.
They didn't kiss. They didn't remove like really any clothing. Like they were both fully clothed, like just enough to penetrate.
Straight missionary.
Straight missionary.
This is baby making sex.
Not a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Just like very, very clinical. And he completes, and then immediately like hops up and just goes outside. He came and then he went. Is what he did.
Yes.
And he just walks outside.
Well, because he's like, this, I just fucked up. This is bad. This is so stupid.
It doesn't even seem like that, though. It's just, I don't know what it was. He walks outside, and he just stops on the front porch, and he's just buttoning up his trousers, getting his suspenders back together. She walks out, kind of fixing up her clothes, and he's like, walk you home? She's like, sure. Walks her home. They don't discuss what just happened at all. Like, there was never like that was a mistake. Like, what did we just do? Like, you're still married, right? Like,
you always use your pinky that way.
Yeah, it was just very strange.
They don't discuss anything ever. I wrote the whole relationship is like 10 words long. Like,
in 15 sessions.
right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how do you even know you love him?
But
He said 8 words.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
two of them were about pheasants.
he takes her back, and like she walks in through the gate, and she walks back to the house, and I guess I didn't realize I skipped over, but they were actually having a party, and the mine guy was there, and they were talking mine business. And this is when she stormed off. When she gets back to the house, all the doors are locked. And at this point, I was like, "Oh shit, something's going on!" Like, they made this seem like it was a really big deal. Like, she's trying all the doors at the mansion, none of them will open. She's knocking on the doors, and finally, like, Mrs. Bolton comes and opens the door. She's like, "Oh, you're back. Where have you been?" And finds out that Clifford's still like having this dinner party. And
I would have walked her outside, pointed to the miles and miles and miles of nothingness around this house, and be like, "Why are my fucking doors locked? Like, what is going to get in here?
I own this."
Like, even the pheasants are babies. Like, nothing's going to break into my house.
That made me wonder if the housekeeper was going to be more involved with the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, well, I kept waiting for her to be not so nice.
Right.
I'll get to that. There's a lot of parts of this movie that I'm expecting.
Yeah, she's like a wing nun.
Yeah.
Like, I like her.
So she lets her in, and she basically is like, "Yeah, Clifford didn't even know you were gone," which upsets Connie that she was gone all this time, boinking the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
And he was just chatting up with the mine guy. Next scene, she's back at the shack, and she's just waiting. And finally, Mellors comes, and she's talking about, he at one point he's like, "I'm just worried. Like, I don't want you to make any mistakes or do anything you would regret. And I'd hate for like there to be suspicions about you." And she's just like, "Nope. We're good. Let's do it again." And then there's like some, you got 3 for this, CJ? Because there's some pretty graphic cabin foreplay.
He's loving up the lady. Fooling around with the Fraulein. Or wrecking the wrong missus.
Wrecking the wrong missus.
Ooh,
Yeah, 100% to that one. But this is just like, so, I hate to get graphic, but I gave a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode.
It's graphic.
First, he uses his hand on her. We'll say it that way. And then he lifts her frock and gets down on his knees. And
Say frock again. But
frock.
slower.
He lifts her frock.
This is about the point where I'm like, in VHS days, I'd have been like, this is the best VHS ever. I'm going to keep this hidden somewhere in my house. But it's now like 8 years into the Pornhub years. And I'm just like, none of the, like, they could have made this point in like 30 seconds. We don't need to watch it for 5 minutes.
But he gets down on his knees and he puts his head between her legs. And this was a weird thing for me too, because all of a sudden she's like, "No, I'm good," and like hops up and just walks out of the cabin.
Rock and roll.
And
I got mine.
Yeah, she's out. So he follows her out, and she's like trying to walk home basically after all this, and he walks her the rest of the way, takes her back to the house, and she leaves, and he tells her to come to the cottage tomorrow. And she says, okay. And then she tosses her big old English panties at him, is what I think happens here, right? Am I wrong?
It's either that or a folded up fucking weather balloon. Like, these are the old
like,
school ones.
Like, so she throws her like underwear at him, and he catches them, and he kind of smiles, and he's like, all right, thanks. And he walks off.
Those were underwear?
Well, yeah, because
I guess I did.
He burns them at the end, and they find him in the fire, and he comments on what it was.
I didn't think super hard about it, what it was.
Yeah, she threw her panties at him.
Those were gigantic.
It was
a surrender flag.
It was 1920s England. There's some big old English panties. Clifford's going on about the mines again once she gets in the house. He's talking about wanting to modernize them. Another letter to Hilda, and in this one she's kind of talking about, alluding to the fact that she's met someone and talking about how, I know you say that I give my heart away too easily, and I'm doing it again, but nothing about this has been easy. She goes out for a walk again, and this is again, they keep planting seeds like the caretaker's going to wise up to what's going on and be the one to rat her out, because she's like, oh, you forgot your book. She's like, oh, I don't need my book today.
Yeah, she starts playing it fast and loose real fast.
Yeah, and the groundskeeper gives like a weird, like suspicious look, like, no book, like,
yeah,
must be fucking. Like, that's the feeling I got.
That's what everyone thinks when I don't have a book. It's weird.
But she actually is just going to visit the school teacher. So she's there sitting with her, holding on to her baby and like playing with the baby. And Mellors shows up to borrow some milk. She says, oh, he comes here to get milk. Not borrow. He takes milk from the school. I don't know.
At this point, he's pot committed. He's pulling moves.
Yeah,
right
well,
he's a
little brazen because he's talking to her earlier about like, I don't want people to get suspicious or ruin your image. But he shows up, and when the lady goes in to get the milk, he's like trying to touch her face, and she's pulling away. She's not overly like,
oh yeah,
she's not reciprocating. And she kind of blows him off, and then she leaves, and he follows her into the woods, like follows her on her way home, and she's asking her to come to the cottage, and she goes, no, I don't have enough time, and he's just like, well, no problem, we'll do it here. What do you got for
animals,
this one, CJ?
Filthy animals.
What do you got for this one?
She's macking on the milkman. Letting loose on the lieutenant. Or my personal favorite, he's breaking one off in the Baroness.
That
yeah,
they're all pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like the milkman one. This go around.
Considering where they were and the fact that everything was all wet, I would appreciate something about mosquitoes.
Yeah. Or I would have appreciated in the middle of it, during one of these extended close-ups of his face, that he just took a sip of milk.
Yeah, what happened to milk? He wasn't carrying it with him, I don't think, after that point.
No.
He left the milk behind. But they just do it right there in the woods. And I kept saying to myself, for people that were supposed to be having like a secret affair, they were having sex outside a lot. Where like anybody could walk by and be like, hey, isn't that Lady Chatterley? But and it gets like a little.
Also, why wasn't he ever at work? Like we talked about what a gamekeeper does, but like he
was always at his shack, like working on the coops, like working. He was.
Seemed like he
was probably picking up milk for the hens. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
You milk hens?
I don't know.
This is why we have no eggs left in this country.
But it gets a little like 50 Shades of Grey at this point. Like he lays her down, and she's like. He calls her my lady, and she's like, don't call me a lady. I'm not a lady with you. And she's like into some like rough stuff. She's like, make me do this and make me do that. And I think at one point she's like, yeah, she goes, and I'm sorry, I want you to fuck me.
This is the point where I was just like, all right.
Yeah, and he's like, you look at me. Don't you look away from me. Look at me. And it gets like real aggressive for no reason.
That's some year 2 shit right there. That's not immediate.
They have this graphic wood sex, and then he walks her home, and she says to him, like, you have a tenderness about you. And he says,
After that scene, too.
But that's what but he kind of scoffs, and he's the same thing. He's like, after all that, like, you just had me choking you in the woods over there. And she's like, no, you're not, you have a tenderness. You're not gentle though. And she's like, I've had enough of gentlemen. And he says, so is he. And this is kind of this underlying class thing going on. He talks about how gentlemen have lost like the ability to feel. They feel like they own other people, and they send them off into the mines to work and die, and they send them off to war. And it's this class struggle between like him, who's like basically a servant, indentured servant, like working man, and what her husband is, who's like the new mine owner, basically.
I also like that she goes home half dressed. She's just not even hiding it anymore. She just shows up like she just got laid in a field.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when she when she walked back from that, like her
milk all over her.
Her top was just like hanging open, like
yeah.
And
I'm like, she's just
like one slight breeze, and it's Nipple City. Like it's out there. Like it's out there for everybody.
No more fucks to give.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty more, Susie.
I got at least 2 by my count.
What's he gonna do? Chase her upstairs?
But they, goddamn, they, so after this, there's basically like an outdoor sex montage. Like it's kind of like that. It's mostly them having sex outside. It's a lot of them naked lying in the grass.
Yeah, they don't just find each other. They find out some shit about themselves. Like they have a thing they like.
I do think there is something to it. And then there's like, it's interspersed with like a few scenes of them just like kind of like frolicking, like clothed, like running around in the field. But most of it's just them having sex outside.
Oh,
yeah.
The running around in the rain.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay. Oh my God.
That doesn't happen yet, but it's coming. So after this montage, there's a scene of her, like she wakes up or she's in her bedroom. I don't know if she's just woken up, but she starts kind of like feeling herself, feeling her breasts, and kind of realizes they're getting a little bigger. And this is the point where you're like, uh-oh, somebody's pregnant. Like there's a little gameskeeper in the oven. Like he's in there.
Yeah. Not the help.
Then she has like a talk with Mrs. Bolton.
Yeah.
The caretaker. And they're kind of talking about her dead husband, and they're talking about like true love and finding someone you love. And then she lets it slip that, there's a chance we may still have a child yet. Because now she knows, like, she's got an inkling she might be pregnant.
But this woman's this is the only other person that's seen her husband naked.
So that makes me think maybe his penis has not been blown off in the war. Because she buys it.
No, I got the feeling that she was in on it. She's like, oh, yeah, you guys could still do this.
I feel like she was really protective of Clifford. She raised him, so she feels like...
Yeah, but she knows that he wants an heir, and she's like, all right, look, I know how this weird, freaky, rich people shit happens,
but she kind of blows it, because...
Like, I have it down here, she's wing marming.
Connie tells her, the doctors say his recovery's been pretty miraculous, and there's still hope, for a child. And she goes, oh, really? Well, then... She...
Is he going to have it? Because there's a giant hole down there.
Because she tells like all the other servant ladies, and there's a scene of her. It's like a game of telephone. Like she's telling all the servant ladies that like they may still have a child.
Yeah, I think this is her protecting the brand.
And that's what I thought she was doing.
Yeah, but then it gets back to like. But then the guy from the mine comes into Clifford's office, and he's like, "Sir, like I hear there's rumor that there may still be chance of an heir." And Clifford's like, maybe. Like I didn't hear. I don't know.
Sounds great.
News to me.
So I feel like Mrs. Bolton kind of like bought it and was telling everybody, and then like almost blew it. And then like Clifford's been sick, so Mrs. Bolton sees, he's in bed and she's watching over him, and she looks outside and she sees Oliver Meller walking the grounds with his shotgun, like just staring up at the house. And it almost seems like Mrs. Bolton is trying to clue him into the fact that there may be an affair happening, because she's talking about like her visiting the groundskeeper and how she saw him out. Well, he says, "Where's Connie?" And she says, "Oh, she left really early this morning." She goes, "I also saw the gameskeeper out very early this morning." Kind of weird, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like it seems like she like is gonna spoil it. So he ends up asking Connie about, I hear there's a rumor that we may still have an heir. Like, have you found somebody? Like, is this what we talked about? And she tells him that she wants to go to Venice for a few weeks with her sister, and basically alludes to the fact that she wants to go to Venice to have an affair and get pregnant and have the
Yeah,
baby.
he's saying, he's like, you got a hall pass, but I'm going to choose the hall.
Yeah.
Where you're going to Venice, which is crazy because the only thing that people hated more than Irish people were Italian people. Like, that didn't seem right, but he was probably going to send like a harem.
Aristocracy.
Yeah.
But he goes, he's basically a super, like he gets like a real big smile on his face when he finds out that she's going to go to Venice and bang somebody else. Like he's like happy about it.
Heck yeah.
And he's like,
he's get a kid.
He's like, yeah, go ahead, go to Venice. She goes to Oliver, she goes to the cottage to let him know that she has to leave for a while. And she tells him, like, I'm pregnant. Pretty sure I'm pregnant. It's obviously yours. I need to go away so that he doesn't think it's yours because he wants the baby. And Oliver gets mad. Like he's, you used me. That's all I was to you, was like a way to get pregnant. And they have a little bit of an implosion, like a fight over this. And she gets up leaving upset and he's throwing things.
I don't blame him. He's like, oh, wait, I'm having a child. Oh, wait, you're taking the child and giving it to the weird British guy up the hill?
Yeah.
That guy can't even push his chair up the hill.
Yeah. Cut to the next scene, and apparently the mind thing's working out pretty well because Clifford now has a sweet motorized wheelchair.
Dude, this shit. I had to stop. Like, I was so excited at this point. Like, this brought me back into the movie because I'm like, did this exist back then?
Did it?
I don't know. I want this. I want this movie. It
reminded me of the beginning of maybe The Legend of Zorro.
What? Why?
The one with Antonio Banderas?
At the very beginning, there's a guy who invents things.
Yeah.
And there's like a thing, like a giant spider thing that made me think of like just weird inventions.
Oh God.
But he's on like a fucking steampunk wheelchair. Like, it's
that's
bad.
what I mean.
This thing was cool as shit.
Yeah. But it still gets stuck in the fucking mud. So he's out riding around with Connie. They get stuck in the mud again.
It acts like a little bitch.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like you get like this shiny new toy and you're a guy. You're like, oh, check out my sweet new ride. And then it's stuck. And then Mellors is there again and he comes over and he's like, looks like you're stuck. And he's like, I'm not fucking stuck. Like, let me do this. And he's like revving the engine and like mud's flying everywhere.
All over her.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, push, woman.
Yeah. And Mellors is like, I think you might need to push. He's like, get your hands off of me. And then finally he just gets so stuck. He's like, all right, I think I'm going to need a push. And Mellors gets him out of the mud, but he treats him like shit. So when they get back to the house, Connie is very upset and talks about how poorly he treated the help, basically, and he's this ruling class bully.
Oh, and we get the whole rundown of just how ruling class he is.
Yeah,
he starts talking about the lessers and the have-nots, and
he really did turn into a bully.
Yeah, well, you know what? You give a guy a motorized wheelchair, he starts all high and mighty.
Fuck yeah.
But so she goes back.
You should see how I'd act if I had that thing.
She goes back to the cottage and they smooth over like the fight they had earlier real quick. And she tells, Oliver that she's going to make Clifford divorce her and make him think it's all her idea or all his idea. And then they can be together. And then Oliver kind of explains to her, well, my wife won't give me a divorce either. I'm going to need to get her divorced to divorce me. And she suggests running off together to Australia, which at this point, when did Australia, I don't even know the history of Australia. Was this still like a prison fucking colony at that point?
I don't think so, but...
It's probably still pretty rough and tumble.
Yeah. That's where you'd have to go, I guess. You'd have to go that far for the story not to chase you.
Yeah. And he says, like, he doesn't want to bring a child into the world they live in now, like, where they're at. Like, they do need to get away because this is not, like, doesn't work for him the way the men rule everything.
Very progressive
And
guy.
he starts to give her, like, he starts getting into this, like, monologue about the ruling class and how awful it is. And it's saying some really poignant things.
You can hear, like, that Russian propaganda music slowly creeping in the background as he's talking.
But as he's like...
a red flag starts unfurling slow behind him.
But as he's giving this, like, nice talk about the ruling class, it starts to rain and she's just like, fuck your words. Like, jumps up and just takes off away from him, like mid speech. Like, this guy's giving an impassioned, he's talking about something he really cares about. And she's like, oh, rain, and just runs out the fucking door.
It was like a little manic pixie girl moment. Just like barf.
Yeah.
Like, so cliche.
But so this doesn't seem to bother him at all, though, because he fucking strips down to nothing and full dong on display, and they're just running around in the rain.
All right, so is he putting it in the pasture? Is she roughing him up in the rain? Or is he filling her up in the fields?
I'm going to go 3 on that one, but I don't think they have sex in this scene, do they? They just streak for a while.
And he does this weird, like, marching. What was that?
It's just awkward to be naked in general and move around. So, I mean,
yeah, that's
true.
But it was like,
anything you do, like any motions you make while completely nude are going to look stranger than if you did them clothed.
I was waiting for him to do like the fake walking down the stairs thing.
Just start helicoptering in the middle of the field too. Just like, she comes like, but after this all ends, she goes back to the house and Clifford is like, he wants to know where she's been. So he sends Mrs. Bolton out to find her. Mrs. Bolton finds her and Oliver together. Thankfully, they've got their clothes back on.
Oh, that's what I had all those 3 for, was that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were just embracing, but like they were clothed, like everything was on the up and up for the most part. Still seems a little suspicious, right? Mrs. Bolton finds them and...
Oh, no, this is like a point in time which you're never supposed to touch another woman for any reason, period. Like, it's, as soon as she sees him, she's like, oh, yeah, all right, I knew it.
He probably saw an ankle.
Damned ankles will get you every time.
So Mrs. Bolton takes her back to the house, and Clifford is upset. But at this point, Connie's just like done with this bullshit. Like she's trying to get him to leave her, basically. And he's like, "Where have you been?" She's like, "I was running in the rain, naked, and I loved it." And she just goes upstairs again. Upstairs, can't get me up here.
Fuck no.
Hilda shows up because they're going to go to Venice together. She's picking her up. And they start talking about the new boy, the new guy. You know, she's like, "Oh, you met someone. I knew it from your letters." And when she tells him or tells her that it's the gameskeeper, she's very upset because he's low class. So we kind of get a glimpse, like Hilda's kind of also a bit of an elitist and doesn't think that she should be with like a guy of a lesser means.
Yes.
It's like the German boy all over again.
Exactly. They talk about...
Yeah, she does say that.
Yeah, because they talk about in the beginning of I think at the wedding that night, she talks about like, "Oh, you had this German boy that you used to sleep with," and things like it was just like a fling. And she tells her that she's confusing sex with love. Like this is all about lust and passion.
The Kaiser was not a fling.
She's pretty upset that Hilda doesn't really understand that she is in love with this guy. So she wants to take her to meet him. So they go in to meet Oliver, and Hilda just comes in, no nonsense again, like no bullshit, just like asking him all the tough questions. Like,
oh hell yeah,
you realize like once they find out you two are together, you're gonna lose your job, you're not gonna have any money. Like, how are you gonna take care of my sister?
Well, you missed the part. Like, this is a whole setup. She planned, like they're leaving for Venice, so she planned it that they were leaving that day.
So she can spend the night.
Just so Hilda can sleep in the car while she gets some with the groundskeeper.
Yeah, I don't know where Hilda went. I don't think she slept in the car, but she had to, like, I don't know where she stayed. So Hilda drops her off and, like, gives them all the tough questions. Oliver kind of tells her, "Yeah, you're right, but, you know, we're in love, so it doesn't matter. Like, we'll figure things out." They have one more, I think this is the last, like, gratuitous sex scene.
Yeah, he is, dicking down the debutante. B, home wrecking the house lady. I started to run out of them at this point. My favorite of this, Malayan the Milady.
I like that. Might I add one?
Okay.
A doggy style on the Duchess.
Oh,
because that is what happened. This is the.
They expanded their horizons.
Yeah, it's not just boring old missionary on the last night together before I leave for Venice. Like we're going down the old canal.
We're doing all the things.
Yeah, doing all the things. So they have sex. The next morning, there's a knock on the door, and Oliver goes to answer it, and it's his ex-wife's boyfriend, Ned, the guy that she stays with and is living with in town.
Oh, this is where I was like, why do they keep introducing characters with no... Like, is this
You're like pausing it. There's 10 minutes left in the movie.
They did kind of like they do.
What is he doing?
They do mention him. Like he says, like, you know, the guy she lives with now is Ned. He's a big baby of a man. She bosses him around. So I knew that whenever he showed up and he was like, "Ned, what do you want?" But Oliver doesn't fuck around. He answers the door with his dog and his fucking rifle.
Hell yeah.
And Ned does not stick around long. Like he's
good Southsider.
Yeah, he's talking about how, you know, she wants half your pension and all this and that, and he kind of scares him off pretty quick. Hilda picks Connie up right out front, like honking the horn, like no discretion whatsoever. Which seemed like an older
in a country where there are 7 car horns total. Yeah.
It seemed like a very older sister thing to do. Like, "Oh, you think you're slick? You want to do this? You're gonna make me stay like in a fucking Motel 8 tonight? Like, I'll be out here blasting the horn."
Everybody for 7 miles is like, "What is that noise? Is that a car horn?" There's one of those in the entire like hamlet.
So they hop in the car and they're off to Venice. He at this point decides to take her pair of underwear that he's been holding on to all this time and throws it in the fire. Why, I don't know. Like burning the evidence, I guess. Like, I don't understand what happened there. We cut back to London because that's where Connie is from. That's where her and Hilda live with their, and that's where their dad lives. And she tells Hilda that she's pregnant. She drops that bomb on her. And then she tells her dad that she's taking a lover. And dad's like totally cool with it. He's like,
Oh yeah.
he's like, you know what? You're gonna have a lot of lovers in your time. Like it's the 1920s, whatever. Like, you know, your husband's got no penis. He's in a wheelchair. Like you do you. But he's also,
you do him.
But he's also
do whatever you want.
But he's also basically like, stay with him.
Give him a baby
because it's best for business. Like this guy has land and money, and like you need to stay with him. Sleep around all you want, but let's take care of the family name.
Mm-hmm.
He's very pragmatic.
He is.
Yeah.
Cut back to Oliver's cottage, and Ned breaks in and is searching the place. And he finds like the half-burned undies because they didn't burn all the way up in the fire. And he finds one of Connie's books. It's like got inscription like to Connie on the inside of it. So he knows it's hers. Or it says property of, you know, whatever. Connie Chatterley. So then he goes out and we get like a little rumor spreading montage. He's at the bar talking to a bunch of guys saying, you know, I found these half-burned underwear and I found this book.
We get, I guess, his ex-wife, who they've never shown before, but she's like at a bar telling other ladies about this.
No, the next scene is, oh, maybe it is. I thought it was Mrs. Bolton at one point talking about it, though, too.
Oh, I didn't
with
see
all
her.
like the servant women.
Oh, well, there's that.
Yeah,
but there's also a scene.
Okay.
Like, they show a woman at a bar, like spreading this rumor, and I think it's obviously supposed to be his wife.
Maybe.
No, she didn't have leaves in her hair, so it's hard to tell.
But this all gets back to
But he has a type.
This all gets back to Clifford. Like he finds out about the rumors, and he's angry. And Mrs. Bolton sees what's going on. He asks for Oliver. He asks to have Oliver come up to the house. She sees what's about to happen, so she actually calls Connie and tips her off as to what's going on. So when Oliver shows up to the house, she meets him first and lets him know, you know, Connie's on her way back. She'll be back tonight. She said meet her at the cottage. So at this point, Mrs. Bolton is team Connie and
She's
Oliver.
all
She shipped these two. Like she's all about it. Clifford brings Mellors in and tells him, you know, you have till the end of the day to get the property. Like you don't work here anymore. Get your shit. Go on now. Get. Connie gets back into town, sees her friend, the school teacher, who she's been like palling around with this whole movie. She will barely acknowledge her.
Super mean.
Yeah, and she's like, she tells her, you know, the Chatterleys own, you know, we rent this land from them. Like, I can't be seen with you. This could ruin my life if I'm associated with you, if they think I know. And she accuses her of like using where she works to meet with him because he came for milk that one time, which wasn't even I wasn't even planned.
Is this why all the flowers in my backyard are trampled down? Was it you two?
Yeah,
like that's.
She said she can't be involved.
They're into the outdoor stuff. I never really realized that until we were talking about it.
Connie comes to the cottage. You know, he lets her know that he's been fired, that he has to leave. At first, he's telling her like, "I can't be with you. Like, I've got nothing now. Like, this is like I've lost everything. Like, well, how can I provide for you and a baby?" And she's like, "No, you know, we're in love. We gotta stay together." And then there's just from outside the cottage, it's like some angry guy yelling his name, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like this guy's gonna die." Like I thought for sure that some horrible tragedy was gonna befall these two. So there's a guy out there just screaming his name like real loud, and she makes him promise that they'll share their lives together, and he promises. And at that point, I was like, "Oh, he definitely gonna die. Like there's no way. Like he's making promises now." He says he promises her that he'll find her wherever she ends up. And then he walks out, and it turns out it's just like basically the ground security, like to take him off the property, waiting to get him out of there. It was just his escort off the land.
The Pinkertons.
She walks back to the house, and she tells Clifford she wants a divorce, and he won't grant it. And, you know, and he tells her like we have more than like just like we have love. Like we're in love. We're meant to be together. You're mine. And she's like, if you love me, like, prove it. Let me go. He says, I'll let you go, but I'll never grant you a divorce, like, ever.
He also said, I'm not unhappy. And she's like,
I am, motherfucker.
yeah, but I'm unhappy.
Your fingers don't even work. You
He
freak.
laid out all the rules. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, he has been making up all the rules.
Right. It's like, I don't care if you're not unhappy, Cliff.
And then like she leaves the room and Clifford just starts blubbering. Like he breaks down. He's crying. That's the last we see of Clifford. He's got a sweet motorized wheelchair in the house too. I don't know if you noticed that. He's got like a little knob on the side. As she's leaving the house, Mrs. Bolton like tells her, I hope you find him. Like I hope he finds you. Whatever. I hope you guys end up together. We get a lot of scenes of her just like sadly going through Venice, like frowning on a gondola, frowning on the side.
The whole tone of this movie, like the color tone of this movie, goes from like just the dullest grays and blues to like fucking Venice, and like it is way too much all at once.
When she's her saddest.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys noticed, because this is definitely a girl thing, but she cut all her hair off.
Yeah, I thought.
Did she?
I thought it was a girl thing because
I didn't even catch that.
I was like, that's a sad girl thing.
Yeah, you go when
I was a little checked
going
out.
through it. You give yourself bangs.
Yeah, she cut him way off.
It's never good.
There's scenes of Mrs. Bolton back at home with all the servant women telling them, like, if you hear anything about Mellors, like where he's been, or like if you find out what happened to him, like we need to pass that along to the colony. We need to get any kind of information you guys can get. She's got her own network of women trying to work on where Mellors is. We see her as she's walking through Venice. She sees this Evie Irish playwright who had hit on her earlier, and she actually smiles, like she's like, "Oh, it's someone I know."
Yeah,
and he fucking ignores her, blows her off. Like,
she starts to realize the word is spread.
Yeah, it gives her a dirty look, and then they're at like a little cafe in Venice, and all these women are like smiling at her, like snickering, and she's just very much like,
cut her.
She's got a reputation now.
And it's Venice, so there's not like a field to frolic in.
No.
Fucking miles.
So she decides that she wants to go back to London. She says Venice has kind of lost its charm. She's sitting on a bench somewhere in London, like outside of their home, and Hilda comes out and has a letter for her from Oliver. And she gives her the letter, and she also says, "Oh, you're probably going to ease my car too." Hilda's a good big sister, so she gives her the ease of the car. And then we get to hear like Oliver's letter. He says that like he started hearing rumors, like her stories about her and him in Scotland, when we went back to Scotland. And, he said first, the guy that worked in the mine was a story about this woman who like left all this riches and like a rich husband and like a landowner for a lot of like a hand on the farm or a hand on the land. And then he started hearing it in bars and stuff like this. So he figured out where she was and he wrote her this letter. So she goes all the way. He tells her he's working on a farm now. That's like rewarding work. He's got his own little cottage on the farm. Nice man. Where's this guy gets a job? They get like a nice ass cottage. Real sweet living situation.
So you're lucky if you get dental.
So she drives to Scotland. She stops and she asks the guy, like, "Do you know where all the Mellors is?" He says, "Yeah, it's up this road." It's not really a road. It's like she's like, there's like 2 minutes. See her like trekking across the field, like they walking.
At the end of that wall, you're going to find a rock under a big oak tree. Say Wataneo. Just remember, say Wataneo.
As she walks for miles, like it finds this cottage, and the cottage is all dark. There's this dramatic music is playing. As she walks around the corner, and like she looks distraught, he's not there. And then there's got like a fucking sexy ninja. And it's just all the stuff like behind her. And it just grabs her by the waist. She's just like, that's the black. And let's say the movie for a minute. But then they come back. And then they show them like racing in the field. Like hugging, and she's all happy. And then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. See, I wish it would have shown like another debutante like running out from behind the house as he came to surprise her.
The book ends with a hanger. Oh, yeah, you never know if she found him his father.
Really? Oh, that would have pissed me off.
That was how I thought that was going, because it really seemed like it was sad.
I was totally expecting.
It is like I cut the black with her. Logan is drawing. It was the cab. And all right, well, see you again. Get your gestures or flowers to give this thing.
Yeah. If you're over 18, don't watch this movie. Just Google Pornhub. Like, it'll be a lot easier. Like, this movie had nothing. It was. I'm sorry. I mean, it didn't even inspire me enough to look anything up other than does your penis work after you've been crippled? And when were electric wheelchairs invented? Or badass, like, lawnmower engine gas wheelchairs? Because that thing was cool.
Yeah. It was just still a role with it. Because he did the werewolf where Corey May has the Gary Busey builds some hot wheelchairs. Oh my god, you should go see that. It's a great movie.
How about you, Suze?
I always like to point out that she is way worse in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the book, like, she's really kind of nasty and like very classist.
Oh, yeah. So it's a lot of like, oh, I can't believe this dirty man's clutching around.
Yeah. But they do that. The Scarlett O'Hara also huge bitch. They go up the whip.
Oh, yeah.
Like awful person. Like, you don't really want her to succeed.
Oh.
The movie really cleaned her up.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
So there you go, guys.
All right. Mine was just, this movie was like suspense blue balls. I kept waiting for something bad to happen, and it never did. Like that sense when you see the cliffhanger, and because like there was so many times like when she came over, the doors was all locked. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on?" And they're like, "No, just lock the doors at 6 o'clock. You missed it. We'll let you in. It's fine. Everything's cool."
Your house.
And then when they were ready to leave, like when he was getting escorted off to the property, and that guy's outside, like, "No, Irish, get out of here!" I was like, "This guy's gonna get gunned down outside of this fucking car, and she's gonna lose her man right now." No, nothing happened. And like I thought, like Clifford was gonna like do something awful when she came back to the house. Nope, he just cried a lot. And like at the end, like when the guy was like, "Oh yeah, he's right at that hill. You'll see him." And I was waiting for him to find like a fucking grave with his name on it. Like they kept building it up, like they built suspense with the music and like what was happening, and then nothing fucking paid off. And this is like one of those movies where like you don't always get like happy endings, and this time we did, and I was kind of mad. I was like, I kept being led to believe that something awful was gonna happen, and like especially these like period pieces of this time frame. Fucking somebody's dying from cholera. Like he's gonna die in a mine explosion or something because they keep talking about the mines and he's gonna go work in a mine and die. Like nothing bad happened, and I just kept waiting for it. And then it ended with them like hugging her, kicking her feet in the air, like, "Oh, good for her." And I'm like, "Fuck, why did you do this to me?"
But in a time period though of an aristocratic lady banging a gameskeeper was pretty much the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah. It worked out for her. Like, you know?
Yeah, until like 3 days later, she realizes she now has to go like fetch firewood.
That's what I was saying. I was going to ask you your question. Does this have legs or like now that she got what she wanted?
No, absolutely.
You live in a place that has no glass in the window.
Yeah, she's on a farm now. She's all used to all this like.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like back then, you woke up at like 6 a.m. and you chored until 9 p.m.
I have to fix my own hair.
Yeah. Like
maybe that's why she cut it off.
She was getting ready. Like she's gonna get her first blister and head on back to the wheelchair guy.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be it.
Same, honestly. I don't.
Plus, she's got a baby to raise. She's gonna have to go into labor and have a baby in like a cottage on a Scottish farm.
Yeah, and that's not saying like, oh, she's like a dainty little chick or anything. Like people back there, the women included, were just fucking harder.
Yeah.
Like if you put me on that farm, I would not last. And like she's coming from an aristocratic background, she's not going to last there.
Yeah, you'll think.
Especially, back then, like how many people and how many babies died during childbirth.
Yeah, or if she even lives through childbirth.
Yeah, exactly. I have it could just be Mellors and a baby on that farm. He's got to sell it for corn. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was mine. Just a lot of suspenseful build up for a happy ending. They kept making me think something bad was going to happen. It never did. I was a little upset about it.
All right.
Let's chick flick it to a dick flick it. CJ.
I'm pulling this one out of my ass today.
Okay.
It was going to be about a badass guy killing people on a motorized wheelchair. But I'm going to go with World War One. There was a point in which Lenin was living he was thrown out of Russia for a long time, and he was living in like Northern Europe in hiding, basically. And, at one point, like, literally, they pick up Lenin and they drop him back. The Germans steal him and drop him back off in Russia because they're like, this guy's a culture bomb. He's going to, like, destroy this country, which he kind of does in a way. I would like our protagonist here to be Lenin. He's just this groundskeeper that's just trying to. That's why he goes into this weird, like, working man's populist, like, rant at one point, and the only difference in this universe is it starts raining and she's like, ooh, nude rain. It runs out and that's what ends it.
Oh.
Like 3 days later the Germans show up to get him.
Lady Chatterley's Lenin.
Yes. Oh man. All right, that's where I'm going off. That's just riffing off of something.
So this might be because I watched The Substance recently.
Oh, it's so good.
But I had body horror on my mind. And I'm thinking, the motorized wheelchair got me thinking, like, I feel like this movie plays out pretty much the same, but then, like, that scene, like, all of a sudden Oliver's got, like, Clifford has, like, a steampunk wheelchair,
Yeah.
Every scene we see him in after that, he's got, like, a little bit extra, like, mechanical item on him. So whether they replaced it, like, he gets, like, a robotic leg. They start making it, like, he starts using all this mind money. He starts getting, like, steampunk, like, body parts and stuff. And then there's, like, that one scene where they're showing, like, schematics of, like, that, like, drill.
Oh, yeah.
And you assume it's for the mine. No.
It's his new penis.
He finally... You're not wrong. When he finally calls Oliver to the house to, like, he's not just, like, kicking him off the land. Like, he stands up from behind his desk and he's got these giant, like steampunk legs with, like, fucking shit. He's got, like, a fucking, like, robotic eye monocle thing happening, and he just fucking rips his trousers off, and there's this giant fucking drill where his dick should be. And then he tries to, like, kill Mellies, and then Connie shows up because she knows what's going on. And then the whole, like, last 30 minutes of this movie is, like, this gigantic, like, half-robot Clifford with a big drill dick.
I'm sorry, you fucking broke me.
Chasing them,
cracked me on
chasing them through the house, like, trying to murder them.
Shit.
And then, like, eventually they prevail and, like, kill him, and then they leave together. But, like, I just want to see this guy, like, slowly descend into madness, like, get, like, parts of his body replaced with, like, steampunk mechanical shit. And
That's beautiful.
because, like, he's lost his legs and no use of his penis, so he's, like, overcompensating.
You're like my new James Joyce.
Thank
You're
you.
a poet.
Thank you. That's
Shit.
mine.
Well, I can't believe I have to follow that. But anyway, so you guys are familiar with Of Mice and Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when she was holding the baby present,
Oh, I had this thought too.
yeah. So, but like Lenny, she's like just accidentally killing people. Like she puts him in the tub, but he slides under. And then Mellors is the person covering up.
Oh,
I love
like,
it.
So she's accidentally murdering
Like
people.
she's accidentally murders the teacher somehow, or the baby or something awful.
Oh God!
Right. Well, he wanted a dick flick, right?
She's just Lennying everybody.
Dead babies, dead chickens. Yeah.
All right.
So that was mine.
I love it.
I thought the drill dick was going too far. All right, let's Nick Cage it.
Oh,
CJ?
yeah, he'd be the. I'd change the character a little bit, but he'd be the ex-wife's boyfriend.
Yeah.
That comes over, but instead he, like, just comes over to play PlayStation. He's like, yeah, she wants your money, but, like, hey man, I brought a sixer.
It's the 1920s. Where's the PlayStation?
Steelers game's on. You want to chill out for a little bit? Like, he's just coming over to hang out,
It's
he's
just
like,
modern day Nick Cage in the 1920s.
And he's just coming over and he's like, look, I brought a bottle of whiskey. Let's just hang out outside the
Bertha's
house.
been breaking my balls. I just needed to get away for a little bit.
You know all about
That
it.
is her name, by the way. Her name is Bertha.
Bertha.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you know Bertha. I just need to get away.
All right. Mine's super easy and quick. Julie Richardson, who plays Mrs. Bolton, plays Nicolas Cage's wife, Teresa, in Color Out of Space.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that was quick.
Yep. Easy peasy.
I had Nick Cage as Julie Richardson and the housekeeper.
I thought about that too.
The houseman.
But, like, in drag. Like, he's playing a woman character, right? Like, it has to be. Like, he's wearing a wig, like,
We could do that.
doing him up in, like, some, like, old frocks.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Let's rate it.
1.
One?
Yeah, this movie sucked.
Wow.
Porn's easier to get. Like, it's just, there was nothing to watch this movie for. There's no good story. There's, like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen this same story on a bunch of different other things that did it better.
Yeah?
You know? Yeah, this movie just terrible.
Okay. I'm going to give it...
Thanks for joining us, Suzie.
I don't want to say I liked this movie because I didn't. I didn't think it was terrible, though. I thought it was better than average. So I think I'm going to have to say, like, 3? Like, it was not. It was well shot. It was well acted. Honestly, and this is gonna sound crazy, but like, the sex scenes were just too much. Like, it was unnecessary.
No, it doesn't sound crazy at all.
It was unnecessary. Yeah. Like, I realized it was supposed to be like a passionate love affair, but they seemed so out of place in this movie that it like took me out of it.
You know what? Yeah, I'll expound on a little bit. Is the idea that I know nothing about this book, but I'm assuming there's even more sex scenes in it that they cut out. So there was definitely a point in which you're like, hey, should we have some more backstory and interesting world building and character building? Or do we need another like 3.5 minutes of this sex scene? And they made the wrong choice every fucking time.
Yeah.
Like over and over again. And it just bothered the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my big complaints are the sex scenes seemed unnecessary and like were too long, and just the constant building of suspense with no payoff like bothered the shit out of me because everybody really does get their happy ending for the most part. I mean, it's they get what they want.
Yeah, Venice looks nice.
And yeah, but so that bothered me because I really thought there was gonna be more conflict or something terrible was going to happen, and it never did.
Nope.
It's like the one movie where I was like, God, I hope something awful happens, and it didn't. I mean, last week, Richard Gere died in a mudslide, and while I didn't care that much, I was still like, shit, didn't see that coming.
I was angry.
Yeah.
I was devastated when I heard that.
Yeah, it was wild.
I never saw the movie, so I
angry.
learned he died in a mudslide yesterday.
But this one, like, nobody dies. Like, nothing really bad happens to anybody.
Nope.
Yeah, for Clifford losing his dick.
Oh, yeah, well, that is pretty tragic.
Yeah, but he was kind of a dick anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't really going to use that thing anyway.
No.
He's going to get one kid. And
he's selfish.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 3. Like I said, I didn't hate it. And for as much as, I'm a big stickler on running times, and I saw this was over 2 hours, and I immediately was like, ugh. It didn't drag for me. It went pretty quickly, I felt. If they would have cut out all the sex scenes, this could have been a tight hour and 40.
Yeah.
And I probably would have liked it more. But yeah, that's it. That's mine. 3. Suzie, take us home.
I'm right in the middle. I'm a 2.
Yeah?
For the same reasons as you, partly. Just all that build up for nothing.
Yeah.
It was pretty. The clothes were great.
Yeah.
The cinematography was great.
Yeah.
The sex scenes were too long, too much.
Yeah.
And I guess from reading the book too, there's so much more interesting conversation that could have happened that didn't. Like, nothing happened.
I honestly, like, when you...
I was an hour and a half in and I was done. I was like, we could end right now and I'd be fine.
When you said that this could have ended with, like, a cliffhanger, I might have rated it higher. Because I feel like that would have at least added some stakes and made me be like, oh, shit. Like, did they or didn't they?
I mean, there was interesting shit happening at the end of the 20s.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I was never invested in anybody.
Yeah.
I really didn't care what happened.
I mean, even like the coal miner stuff, like, I know it's Daniel Day-Lewis, so it's cheating a little bit, but like they were able to make a movie about negotiating oil prices for 3 hours. Very interesting. You could have given me a little bit more about this mining, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, and a 3.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's roll the next one.
Yeah, let's do it.
One
Behind the Green Door.
I didn't even give you a number.
I didn't even know that was on there.
178 is our number.
Wait, what's the other one? I don't know.
Deep Throat?
Deep Throat. That was it.
Is that a romantic movie?
As much as this one was.
Emmanuel in Space.
Oh, God. 154.
154. Marry Me. And it's not a proposal, CJ. That's the name of the movie. Ooh, let's see. This is going to be hard because if I just type in "marry me," it's going to. Oh no.
No, it knows how to. Your algorithm is set to rom-com at this point.
This is from 2022.
Ooh, just like Lady Chatterley's lover.
Pop star Kat Valdez is about to get married before an audience of her loyal fans. However, seconds before the ceremony, she learns about her fiancé's cheating ways and has a meltdown on stage. In a moment of inspired insanity, Kat locks eyes with a total stranger in the crowd and marries him on the spot. This stars Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez.
What?
I kind of remember this. It's a romance comedy.
We're from 2022.
Yeah, it also stars
like a
it's a
lie.
bad sign
That
if
feels
you
like a
don't
lie.
remember this,
Yeah.
and it has big stars.
Sarah
in it 'cause they
Silverman?
buried it.
Vanessa Hudgens, the guy that played Jon Snow's best friend in Game of Thrones. I can't remember what his name was.
The big guy?
Yeah, the guy.
Oh,
that,
he's
the
adorable.
nice
I like
watch.
him.
Yeah,
Sam.
yeah. John
Sam
Bradley is in this. So yeah, 2022's "Marry Me."
Was J-Lo married to Ben Affleck?
This will be our.
Multiple times. I think she's on like round
2022?
3.
Oh, I don't know about 2022.
Oh,
That was more recent.
yeah. I think they're on round 3
I
now.
don't know.
I don't know.
But this will be our second Jennifer Lopez, our first Owen Wilson.
All right.
We had a Luke Wilson.
Oh, yeah, we did have a Luke.
We did have a Luke Wilson, yeah. Now we got an Owen Wilson.
All right.
All right, well, until next week when we discuss 2022's "Marry Me." You know what? I'm okay with this because Long Shot was like a late 2000s comedy romance that I had heard of but didn't hear much about, and
that
I
was a
really
very
ended up
good
liking
movie.
it.
Yeah.
So maybe this will take us down the same path.
Maybe
Yeah.
be a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I mean, really, I can't imagine there's that much graphic sex in this. It's just Owen Wilson going, "Whoa, wow, wow, wow." But yeah, until next time, when we
Wow.
discuss that movie, please follow us, subscribe to us, like us, wherever you get your podcasts at. Write us a review. Tell us all the great things about us that you love. We're nothing if not vain, and we'd love to hear all about it.
Hey, we had I'm just gonna say this. Fucking Diane Lane liked one of our.
We think it may
Facebook-
have been the real Diane
I think
Lane.
I'm going with it.
All right.
I'm positive.
There's a strong chance the real Diane Lane liked one of our Facebook
I
posts.
can't imagine a fake Diane Lane account has like 1.5 million followers.
That's
But
true.
then
That's right. You
again,
know what,
It is
people?
Diane.
You know what? If it's good enough for Diane Lane, it's good enough for you, goddammit. Come check
Right.
us out on Facebook. See where CJ makes all the sweet memes that Diane Lane is craving.
That's right.
And reach out to us. This goes for you too, Ms. Lane. We'd love to know what you think.
Or what the fuck?
We're on email, you've.gotmails@yahoo.com. And if that doesn't work for you, you know the Facebook page. Send us a message on Facebook Messenger. Reach out and say hello. Yeah, I mean that's about it. Diane Lane, we think you're great. Thanks for listening and following along. We think you're the best. We're trying to, if we can't get Nicolas Cage in this podcast, God damn it, you're always welcome.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And until next time, stay romantic and don't be shitty to each other. Do you think Ms. Lane's too formal? Should I just call her Diane?
I don't know. We should make an email address just for her.
Yeah.
Like a bat phone for Diane Lane.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh shit! We didn't thank Suzie for being here. Is it too recording? Suzie for being here.
Thanks, Suzie.
Suzie, again, we loved having you, and thank you so much.
Always happy to be
I'm
here.
sorry, Diane Lane fucking stole your thunder.
That's okay.
Story of Susie's life.
Shit.